Hi guys, welcome back. Last video we discussed about the operational provisions of CMO or the Custom Memorandum Order 2022 Series 2010, and today we discuss about the miscellaneous provision and the harbor regulations related to custom in CMO 22 Series 2010. Miscellaneous provision. Section number 20, certificate for quarantined cargo. When a cargo manifested for any port in the Philippines is retained on board the importing vessel by order of the quarantine officer or any other officer authorized to issue such order, the customs inspector on board, after verifying said cargo, shall make a certificate of constructive lading as to the bill of lading. Section 21, use of boarding watercraft. The customs senior boarding officer shall not permit anyone to go with a customs boarding watercraft upon departure from the pier except custom inspector and custom guards duly assigned to vessels to be boarded. Section number 22, baggage declaration entry. The baggage declaration properly accomplished by incoming passengers shall be presented to the custom inspector on board or to the custom examiner or oppressor upon boarding of the vessel. Custom inspector and custom guard assigned by the chief base service section to substitute for absence personnel, and those especially granted in writing by the chief peers and inspection division may be given the privilege to use the boarding watercraft. Section number 23, vessel clearing for foreign ports, applying for bunkers. The custom inspector on board of a vessel cleaning for foreign ports and applying for bunkers shall require the master thereof to transmit, together with his application, the usual affidavit containing the following: 1. Name and nationality of vessel. 2. Amount of fuel oil available on board for its propulsion at time of entry. 3. Vessel's daily consumption of oil at seas. 4. Vessel's daily consumption of oil in port. 5. Ports of call during the voyage and duration of vessels stay at each port. And last, the amount of bunkers applied for. Next is section 24, unloading of cargo by distressed vessel. A distressed vessel in port desiring to unload cargo for the duration of vessel's sojourn detrate may be issued a permit to discharge her cargo upon written request of the master or agent, approved by the collector of custom under such terms and condition he may deem proper. And if the cargo's discharge will be cleared or entered in the port where they are discharged, the unloading of this class of cargo shall be subjected to same rules and regulations prescribed for cargoes destined for the port. Section number 25, ship smell. Ship's mail. Ship's mail shall be examined as they are being taken from the ship, and all mails addressed to persons other than the agent of the vessel shall be delivered to the mail clerk. Any dutiable articles or merchandise other than mail found in the mail bags shall be subjected to duties and taxes or zizor. Section number 26, laborers and ship's laundry. All stevedores, laborers, and other persons of similar status shall be thoroughly searched by or under the immediate supervision of the custom inspector on board upon their leaving the vessel, and such person found with pilfered articles or those not authorized for discharge in his person shall be arrested. Section number 27. The seizures. The custom inspector or custom guard making seizures shall deliver to the owner or the claimant, and if unclaimed, to the master of vessel or a receipt describing the article seized, he shall forward immediately the articles seized together with a seizure report and transfer note to the chief pairs and inspector division or its equivalent office. Next is section 28, arrest. Upon searching a vessel or any person on board thereof, the custom inspector or custom guard on board is authorized and required to search, arrest, and even detain conformable with law any person found committing act or acts contrary to law. When a person is apprehended under such circumstances, the custom inspector on board shall conduct an informal investigation where after termination whereof the person arrested together with the evidence shall be turned over the enforcements and security services for approach action. Section 29, small boat alongside vessel. Small boat authorized by the PPA to engage in ferry service may be permitted to come alongside the vessel. A custom guard shall be stationed permitted stationed at all times while a small boat, launch, or any water draft is alongside, and it shall be thoroughly searched before being permitted to depart. Section number 30, custom guards for vessel lying alongside. A custom guard shall be detailed by the customs inspector on board of a vessel when another vessel is lying alongside, whose duty shall be to see that no contraband articles or merchandise is passed from one vessel to another. This duty shall be arranged in rotation so that the vessel will be under continuous surveillance until its departure. And section number 31, having anchor and set. Upon receipt of a notice of clearance, the custom inspector on board shall allow the vessel to heave anchor and sail, but if uh, but if for any reason the ship does not leave and remains in port for more than 48 hours after the time of departure indicated in the clearance, the master of agent shall be required to secure from the custom clearance officer an extension of time for departure without which the original clearance shall be of no force or effect. Section number 32, refer of vessel equipment. Um, Upon the filing of bond or underguard guaranteeing their re-exportation and approved by the collector of custom, the landing of sail, gas, chronometers, and other portions of vessel equipment for the purpose of having them repaired shall be permitted. Section number 33, conversion of vessel status. A. From foreign to coastwise. This vessel of foreign status may be converted to a coastwise status after the following requirements are fully complied with and submitted to the collector of custom through the custom clearance officer as prerequisite to the issuance of clearance. The first one is certification from the concerned office of the Bureau that import entry had been filed and duties and taxes had been paid or secured to be paid. Second, certification of conversion issued by the Maritime Industry Authority. Third, certification from the Chief Purse and Inspection Division and Chief Bay Service Section with the Enforcement and Security Service as member of the searching team. And fourth, certification from shipping agency attested by the custom inspector on board that foreign cargoes are fully discharged from vessel. And last, inventory list of ships, stores, and salons and crew declaration list shall be duly accomplished, signed by the master of vessel and attested by the custom inspector on board. B. From coastwise to foreign. And the vessel of coastwise status may be converted to a foreign status subject to the following requirements. First, certification of conversion issued by Maritime Industry Authority. Two, duly processed export declaration or permits. Next is section 34, letters to collector. The customs senior boarding officer shall collect all letters in vessels, position addressed to the collector of custom, and transmit them without delay to the custom house. Section number 35, refuse and garbage. No refuse, garbage, and the like shall be thrown or jettisoned inside any harbor, more especially while the ship is alongside piers. All damage and routine cargo shall be disposed of upon arrangement and permission of collector of customs, and that on the area designated by said official or duly authorized representative after consultation with the Philippine Coast Guard or the Department of Environment and Nature Resources. Next, section 36, firearms care and use. Care should be exercised in the use of firearms. The unnecessary display of firearms is prohibited, and an employee should remember that the law will hold him personally responsible for the results of the use of firearms. A weapon should not be drawn or used except in self-defense or to prevent the commission of a felony. While it is not intended that officer or employee should jeopardize his own life or the life of an associate when danger threatens, it is intended that extreme caution and call deliberation control has actions. Next, section 37, instructions related to discharging, withdrawal, and loading of empty container. First, the discharging of empty containers. The, the shipping agent prior to the discharge of empty containers shall furnish the custom container control division a copy of approved sequence of discharge and a separate listing of empty containers to be discharged from the carrying vessel for monitoring and aging purposes. Second, withdrawal of empty containers. The shipping agent concerned shall present a letter request to the Chief Customs Container Control Division for withdrawal of empty container from the pier. Once approved, the Deputy Collector for Operations, the Chief Enforcement Security Service, and the Chief Piers and Inspection Division will shall be furnished copy of the request and the permit to withdraw issued. And number 3, loading of empty containers. Prior to loading of empty containers on boarding carrying vessel, the shipping agent concerned shall apply for a special permit to load in a letter application made for that purpose at the Custom Container Control Division. Next is section 38, instructions related to the withdrawal of shout out containerized export. Withdrawal of shout out containerized export cargoes. All application for the withdrawal of shout out containerized export cargoes shall be directed filed with the chief or the CCD or maybe its equivalent office. Spot checking of contents of subject containers shall be no longer be required, but instead the following precautionary measures shall be undertaken. A. The application to withdrawal shout out containerized export cargoes shall be accompanied at all times by the following: first, certification of shipping agents concerned attesting to such fact; second, an equipment interchange receipt; And last, a copy of export declaration or the permit. B. The spot checking shall be confined only to determine whether the original shipping agent sale affects after the stopping operation is intact. And last, C. In case the containerized report cargoes are delivered from CBW, which fact the shall be indicated in the application. The the same shall not be withdrawn unless accompanied by a custom guard who shall guard the same until the shipment is received by the assigned custom warehouse man or custom storekeeper at the CVW. Next is section 39, shifting of cargoes. Shipping agent shall be submitted a written request for hefting of cargoes to the office of the Chief Pierce Inspection Division, which in turn shall recommend its approval to the Deputy Collector for Operations. Next is Section 40, Divining, Stripping, and Stuffing. Consignee shall submit a written request for divining, stripping, and stuffing to the Office of the Chief Pierce and Inspection Division, which in turn shall recommend its approval to the Deputy for Operations. Next is Section 41. For direct to truck transfer. For direct transfer of container or cargo from vessel truck, consignee or custom broker shall submit a written request to the Office of the Chief Pierce and Inspection Division, which in turn shall recommend its approval to Deputy Collector for Operations. Next is Section 42, Overtime Permit. All requests for overtime work by Pierce and Inspection Division, personnel other than those regular activities mentioned in this manual shall be recommended by the Chief Pierce and Inspection Division and approved by the Deputy Collector for Operations. Next is section number 43, discharging of vessel sludge. All requests for discharging of vessel sludge shall be recommended by the Chief Pierce and Inspection Division and approved by the Deputy of Collector for Operations. And sample of sludge shall be taken by the Custom Examiner from Formal Entry Division for examination purposes. And Section 44, Bunkering Permit. All requests for vessel bunkering or refueling shall be recommended for approval by the Chief Pierce and Inspection Division to the Chief Port Operations Service or the EOCG. Next is Section 45, Leisure or Racing Yacht. The boarding formalities shall as far as practicable apply to leisure crafts, yachts, foreign fishing vessels, and local fishing vessels from abroad. These provisions shall include all vessels arriving in the country that are participants of regattas or similar competitions. During the boarding formalities, the master or owner of the yacht or other similar vessel shall manifest or state its intention or purposes of its journey in the Philippines. He must indicate if this voyage is for pleasure or indicate intended period of stay in Philippines and conversion from foreign to causeways, payment of duties and taxes, or conduct of business in the Philippines. Next is the harbor regulations related to custom. First, A. Vessel entering port. All vessels entering any port of entry or coastwise in the Philippines shall show their colors and signal their official number or letters, and such signals shall be kept flying till the vessel is boarded by the proper officials, and all vessels with 2 miles before arriving of at designated quarantine anchorage shall display their uh, aforementioned signals. When mails is to be discharged, the vessel shall inform the port authorities by the prescribed signal at the earliest opportunity. B. Flag signals or calls. At the time at the Philippine ports of entry, signals will be responded to and from the customs house or pilot signal tower. The following signals or calls that shall be used in all Philippine ports of entry, which first custom, international code flags, E and C, at night 3 or 4 short blasts of whistle and waving of a light. B, quarantine, international code international code flag Q at the 4. C, pilot, the international code flag G or PT at night. The pyrotechnic light, commonly known as the blue light, every 15 minutes, and a bright white light flash or shown at short frequent intervals just above the hole for about a minute at a time, or the international codes signal PT by flashing light. And the explosive or inflammables, the international code flag B at the 4. And E, medical assistance, the international code flag or custom call. F, contagious or infectious disease, international code flag E. Z, Q, the G, death, custom and quarantine calls or international code flag E, N, L. And H, distress, by the international code flags N, C, or gun or other explosive signals fired at intervals of about a minute, or the distress signal consisting of a square flag having either above or below it a ball or anything resembling a ball at night, which first, a gun or other explosive signal fired at intervals or about 1 minute. Second, flames on the vessel as from a burning barrel, oil, and etc. Rockets. Third, rockets or shells throwing stars of any color or description fired one at a time at short intervals. I, mills, the international code flag Y. G, water boat, international code flags RCQ or FU. K, PID, AS, the custom call. I, harbor master, the international code flag GYT. M, the maneuvering international code flag D at night. Next is C, repair or dry docking of vessels. Deaths, illness, or accidents involving physical to any person on board a vessel in harbor shall be at once reported to the collector of customs and quarantine officer. That's the quarantine requirements. And D, repair and dry docking of vessel. No repair except minor ones shall be allowed on any vessel in a port without the permission of the collector of customs or the deputy collector for operations, as well as its transfer to designated place of dry docking, and shall be subjected to continuous underguarding until final clearance. For dry docking, the following documents are required: A. Searching and inventory report. B. Approval from the Office of the Deputy Collector for Operations. C. The last, certification from contractor or scope of work and duration of repair. And next is E. Sinking vessel. Whenever the navigation of any harbor or navigable river tributary thereto shall be obstructed by any sunken vessel, boat, watercraft, or other similar obstruction has existed for a period longer than 30 days, or whenever abandonment can be established in less space of time. Next is lighters or tags and other watercraft. Lighters shall not be tied or nor removed from alongside a vessel without permission of the customs inspector of board such vessel. Next G, police authority performed by custom officers. Custom officers have the power to arrest within harbor limits persons violating the customs, immigration and navigation laws and regulations, and persons committing crimes or breaches of the peace. Such arrest shall be reported without delay to their superior officer. And any person who assaults or resists, opposes, or interferes in any manner with a custom officer in the discharge of his duty shall be liable and subjected to penalties prescribed by the law. Next, H. Rat guards. When any vessel entered of foreign or Philippine registry is at any dock, pier, wharf, quay, or bulkhead, such vessel shall take proper precautions to prevent the passage of rodents to or from the vessel, and the vessel shall be fended off from the pier, wharf, quay, bulkhead, or dock not less than 6 feet, and acceptance rat guards as prescribed shall be fixed on all connecting lines, and in addition all cargo nets, chutes, and similar device extended between the vessel and shore structure shall be removed at night unless in actual use, as shall all gangways and ladders unless granted or proper light tent. The master of any vessel of foreign registry of Philippine registry engaged in foreign trade, whether lying alongside a pier, dock, quay, wharf, or bulkhead, or steering shall have suitable rat guards placed on all lines between idle lighters or small boats or other carriers and vessel which must be fastened that the guard will remain at night will remain at right angles to an light on the line. And no cargo shall be discharged from or received on board a vessel lying alongside a pier, wharf, quay, dock, or bulkhead, or in a stream before stable rat guards have been placed on all the lines, loading from the carriers to the vessel and from the vessel to pier, wharf, quay, and bulkhead, except in a case of coastwise vessel handling coastwise cargo to the barge, lighter, or other carriers from barge lighters. Next, other special anchorage. Likewise, all other boats and watercrafts are prohibited to anchor or to uh, linger, linger around any vessel, whether moored at a pier or anchored in the harbor at a distance of less than 50 meters from said vessel, unless specially authorized by the collector of custom. And last, specific regulation. And no no empty lighters or carriers shall be lie at night alongside a Philippine government pier or alongside a vessel moored thereto, nor shall empty lighters or carriers be attached to such pier or vessel by cables or ropes, or attached to loaded or party loaded carriers which may be alongside or fastened to such pier or vessel. And empty lighters or carriers alongside or attached to such pier or vessel during daytime shall be removed therefrom before nightfall. And the provisions contained in paragraph 1 and 2 above shall not apply to cars partially laden with import or export cargo, or the empty carriers which may have been prepared or which are preparing to receive cargo from a pier or vessel when delivery from a pier is discharge of a vessel during nighttime has been duly authorized. And any vessel or watercraft in the Philippines harbor shall, when a case of sickness occurs on board, immediately hoist the regulation quarantine flag, the yellow, and keep the same flying until boarded and passed upon by an inspector of the quarantine bureau, and that flag shall be of sufficient size and so placed as to be plainly visible.